Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola. I'm so glad to see all of you and so many new faces. My name is Laura Keith King, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm a member here. We are a lay-led congregation, which means we don't have a settled full-time minister, but we have many wonderful speakers, including Reverend Teresa Everett here, who's going to speak with us today. We welcome you whether you're a stranger to us or whether you've been a member for decades, whether you're here in the room or whether you're watching online. If you are new, we hope that you have received a handout, which I have here. It looks like this, but it may be in color. And you're welcome to, we have some black and white ones we'd love to have you take home, and there's all kinds of other literature out in the lobby that you're welcome to take if you want to learn more about our church or about Unitarian Universalism in general. Please sign up for a reusable name tag if you think you're going to be back. We'd be happy to make you one that'll hang on your neck or pin on your shirt or jacket. And if you would like to receive our weekly emails so that you know what's happening here, there's a sign-up sheet for that as well. And both of those sign-ups are on that side on the credenza. Our service usually lasts about 1 hour, and you'll see the parts of it projected here on the screen. And you are cordially invited to join us for fellowship and refreshments after the service. We'd love to get to know you a little better. Please take a minute to silence your mobile phones. And now for our weekly announcements. We have been circulating this. It's a survey for the Sunday Services team so that we can learn what kind of services are the most meaningful for you. You can also find it online if you're getting our emails, and they are located around on the chairs and in the lobby, and there's a box in the lobby to put them in. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me later.
Is this survey just for members?
It's for everyone who attends on a regular basis. We have an announcement for Sunday, December 15th. It is our annual holiday gift exchange party. You don't need to be a member. You can be a friend or just a visitor to join us for that. This is for the adults. There'll be another party for the kids. And following the service, we will have a salad and pizza buffet. Then we will meet back here for the party. It's a gift exchange. It's a fun gift exchange. It's not expensive gifts. So bring one wrapped gift, and we draw names, and then we trade off back and forth. It's called Dirty Santa. You'll find that this is fun. We hope you can join us for that. And on Tuesday, December 24th, which many of you know is Christmas Eve, we will have a traditional candlelight service of readings and carols starting at 5 p.m. If you are willing and able, we're looking for readers. So please see me if you're interested. Now, Joe Vinson, our board president, is going to come up and make another announcement.
Hello. So I'm here to tell everyone about this year's Guest at Your Table initiative. Who here has ever participated in the Guest at Your Table projects in the past? Wonderful. To start with, if we could play a brief video. enjoy the visuals. I'll try to wing it here. So, Guest at Your Table is a project put on by the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, the UUSC. It has happened since, I think, 1975. And basically, this is a way where we can raise money that goes to that organization, which is then used to support different projects around the world. The theme of this year's Guest at Your Table is expanding the welcome table. There are some brochures that were sent to us, but they say 2019-2020, and they don't match what's on the website, so I'm going to read what was on the website. So some of the guests that we'll be supporting this year are Konea Ishimura, who helps his community heal from the destructive legacy of nuclear testing by the United States while envisioning a sustainable future for the Marshallese people. Anna Maria Tesfaye offers resources and companionship to the LGBTQ community in Ukraine, who have been impacted by Russia's invasion. Suleiman Wellings Longmore researches the ways racism is impacting the experiences of migrants of color in the United States. And the Pink Haven Coalition creates networks of safety and welcome for trans and gender-expansive people forced to flee unsafe states in the United States. I can give you some of the specific projects that will be supported by the Guests at Your Table. And Guests at Your Table, basically, out in the lobby, there are some boxes. They're not boxes yet. You can assemble them. But basically, cardboard that folds together to make boxes. And just keep it at your house, and every time you have an extra dollar, some change, just put it in that box. And at the end of this month, the last service of the year, we'll bring those back, and we'll just tally everything up and determine how much we're sending on to the Guests at Your Table, to UUSC. And any donation of more than $150 gets matched. So it's a really good way of kind of coming together just a little bit at a time. And if you never have change, you can certainly make an online donation by credit card. But let me just go through a couple of these things. $40 covers the cost of 1 month of utilities for a refugee community center in Malaysia. $60 supports 1 hour of language interpretation at a leadership training for queer and gender nonconforming immigrants advocating for their rights in New York City. $75 provides transport for a UUSC partner in Kiribati to travel to one of our nation's outer islands, Aranuka, to support adaptations to climate change for people living with disabilities. There's a lot more, but I won't take up more of your time. But if you're interested in participating, you can pick up one of those scored boxes to be in the lobby after the service, and we hope that you'll participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Now our musicians will play some centering music to help us settle in during this busy time of year. Thank you. And now we will light our chalice. A chalice lit in our midst is a symbol of our liberal faith, a faith built on the foundations of freedom, reason, and welcome, a faith sustained by acts of kindness and justice, a faith that envisions a world flourishing with equality for all people, a faith that demands we live in goodness, a faith that requires thoughtfulness, a faith of wholeness. This tiny flame is the symbol of the spark of all of this within us. And now our opening words.
Please stand as you are willing and able to join me in the responsive reading shown on the screen. Your words will be in bold. Out of a community of diverse heritage and belief,
We come together to share. Okay, we need the slides. Okay, let's start again.
out of a community of diverse heritage and belief.
We come together to share our hope and to create good in the world.
The prophets of all traditions and times have taught that we are called to mercy, generosity, and mutual care. We know that there can be no enduring happiness for humanity so long as suffering and want go unrelieved. May the power of our various faiths sustain us in this work, that we may be the hands of holy creativity and justice.
And together build a better world.
Together, love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
You may be seated. And now our member, Lauren Anzaldo, who is the team leader of our new membership, our membership team, she's the leader of the membership team, is going to come up for a new member ceremony.
Good morning, everyone. As Laura said, I'm your membership team leader with my wonderful assistant, Lori Winterberg, who's going to be helping this morning. And a couple times a year, we have the joy of getting to welcome several new members into the congregation. And we do a little ceremony, so many of you will remember that because you've been here, done that as well. This morning, we are going to have 4 new folks joining us, although I think at least one of them is not here today, but we'll get to that. The names should be on the next slide. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So we have, as I call the names, they're going to come and join us, and we're going to do our new member welcome words together. So the person that I think is not here, I haven't seen him, is Ian Briggs. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, there you are, Ian. Sorry. Come on up, Ian. I was going to say, if you, even if Ian wasn't here, everyone probably recognizes him because he's been joining us for a while now. So glad to have you. We're going to have Herman Pappy Campbell, who is over here and has been playing in the band with us. So, been playing with the music. Really, really awesome. And come on, would you mind coming up to the front, please? So Ian has a friend. And then Wayne Chardon Jr. has been with us for a couple weeks now and is joining. And absolutely. And then Rosie Lager is also joining us. And so with them, now you may know that membership, there's specific rights and privileges and requirements of membership. And so each of, 2 of these folks have also been joined by some family members. But those young people don't become members unless they opt to, and they do that at age 15 currently. So anyway, but you may see their family members with them, and they're welcome to come, of course, and everyone's welcome to come to UCPA as long as they want, but membership is making a little extra commitment and being in covenant with us. So this morning, Happy, did you? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and recite our little ceremonial words together, so there should be a next slide for that. So we've done this before. For the congregation, we'll recite together, and then the new members, and then all of us at the conclusion. So we warmly welcome you into membership. We are glad you have chosen to join us. We know that the ideas, energies, resources, and commitments which each of you bring will greatly enrich our vibrant and growing community. And now the new members. all together. Yeah, one more part and then we can cheer. We commit ourselves to an ever-increasing understanding of right relations among us. We value honesty, direct speaking, and courtesy in our conflict, courage in our speech, and integrity in our action. We hold one another accountable to our very best intentions. May we be true to ourselves, true to each other, and true to the vision of the beloved community we are ever becoming. And now, Lori, now we can cheer. Yay! We're so happy and thankful to have you with us. And Lori will do this little ceremony we call the beading of the new members. Beading with a D. And she's picked out, you'll hear them coming because they got jingle bells on. And so we say so we can recognize you better and greet you and not to embarrass or. So lovely. Thank you. We always have visitors and new people coming, and we welcome them all the time. And if anyone is interested in talking about membership or becoming a friend, you can always speak with me. I try to grab everyone and speak with them if I know that they're new or they've been attending, to talk with them. And so, you know, the process is easy, but it is a commitment, and we do covenant together, and that's part of, you know, the function of our church. For those new members, we do have some goodies over here, some stickers and some other things you can pick out. We've got some really cool handmade pottery ornaments that were made by a former friend who moved away, or former member of our church. It's a chalice. Just a lot of neat little stuff here. Feel free to grab and take what you would like. But again, we're so thankful that you're here with us and look forward to being a part, you being a part of this church for a long time to come. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Lauren. And now we will have our opening hymn. Will the choir please come up? It is hymn number 67. We sing now together.
Together our soul.
So, the holiday season can easily get crowded out by the noise and busyness of consumerism if we aren't careful. To help retain the spiritual feeling of the holidays, some families include traditions such as lighting the Advent calendar or Hanukkah candles, Advent candles or Hanukkah candles. Each of the Advent candles here represents something different: love, hope, joy, and peace. There's one for each Sunday during the month of December. Whether you participate in Advent or not, there is beauty in voicing these virtues to the world and to ourselves. And we're going to have different families come up each Sunday. And this Sunday, it's Rose and Nancy.
Advent. Advent is a time of hope for the world. No matter the hardship we face, we can have hope right here, right now. The gift of hope is not just for the past, it's for the present and our future too. We can hold a hopeful expectation for the dreams in our hearts, the deep prayers, and the desires that we hold dear.
The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather here to constantly grow more generous in spirit and in action. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will sustain this self-supporting church. The gifts of the congregation and visitors and friends are all gratefully received, either today in the basket or with your ongoing automatic pledge or with one of the options offered on the slide. Thank you for your generosity. This is now the time during our service where we share our joys and sorrows and our concerns, because a joy shared is doubled and a sorrow shared is halved. If you have a personal joy or sorrow to share with us, please form a line on either side, coming toward the middle, and please tell us who you are. And I will first start with a candle for all of our world and national concerns, of which I know many of us are occupied with. it's time for the children to, they are leaving today, right, Honor? Yep, they leave. The children are now dismissed, and we will sing them out. Go now in peace, go now in joy. May the Spirit of us surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. And now is time for our homily, our message. Reverend Teresa Everett is a certified and licensed preacher, worship, and Eucharist minister, and pastoral care leader in the Episcopal Church. She is an active member at St. Augustine Episcopal Church in Navarre, where she serves regularly as a preacher and worship leader and coordinates the pastoral care and the lay Eucharist team for the greater Navarre community and beyond. We welcome Reverend Teresa.
May the words from my mouth be acceptable to your heart and to your ears. Good morning. So thank you again for having me. I am always so very honored and humbled when I am asked to come and speak, especially on such a very beautiful, chilly Sunday morning. And as we alluded to earlier, the holidays are in full swing, right? Retailers are bombarding us with sales. And did you know that because Thanksgiving was later this year, there are only 27 days of shopping? Compared to 32 last year. So retailers are very quick to remind us that we lost 5 days. So you better hurry up and get shopping. And as Laura talked about, that's what this season has become, right? A season of frenzy for so many people. An anxiety-provoking frenzy. That if you didn't get the right toy, or the right gift, or the decorations aren't perfect, you don't have the Martha Stewart table, or if you don't exude that warm, fuzzy feeling of peace and goodwill to everyone, and you don't have that wonder of sleeping in heavenly peace, others around us, as well as social media, have a way of making us into a very dark space because we just can't seem to live up to the expectations of what this season should be. And if you go into a lot of the stores, yesterday I had to do some shopping, amidst all the holiday decorations, and I saw this yesterday, you can always find a Christian religious sign. One of my favorites is, "Don't forget, Jesus is the reason for the season." Right? And I'm always amazed when I see the signs, especially that one, because it just seems like an indictment of every aspect of Christmas. I mean, do we really need to buy something to remind us to be more thoughtful about buying? It's just wrong. Right? It's wrong. Okay, well, maybe not 100% wrong. I mean, for Christians, the birth of the story of Jesus is supposed to be the light at the center of every Christian celebration. This story about the coming of a birth of a baby, which carries with it this message of hope and love, it's the story that's supposed to fill up our very dark winter days. And one way of keeping this anticipation of this birth, this light, was through the adaptation of Advent. So what is it? What's Advent? We have an evergreen wreath, we have candles. Usually in the Christian tradition, there's a pink one and 3 purples. This white one is known as the Christ candle in the middle. And we just lit the first candle. So what is Advent? So the term Advent actually derives from a Latin word, adventus, and it means coming. It means arrival. And the period of Advent lasts 4 weeks, 4 Sundays. And it begins on the Sunday that's closest to November 30th, yesterday. And it ends on the culmination of December 24th. So today is the first day of Advent. For Christians, Advent symbolizes the anticipation and the celebration for the birth of Jesus. But it also is supposed to symbolize the hope and anticipation of Jesus' second coming. The first 2 weeks of Advent is also known as Little Lent. And Lent, we know, comes at the time of Easter, in the spring. And that was a time of inner reflection, inner contemplation, where we're supposed to look at ourselves to become more. Those are the first 2 weeks within Advent. Now, in the New Testament, there are only 2 Gospels that reference the birth of this baby, the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke. Now, there are very different stories within the Gospel of Matthew and Luke, and from a historical perspective, because there's really not a lot to go on. Most of these were oral traditions that were passed down and later put in writing. And they're not what we call part of the canon, part of what the bishops accepted as the canon. But we know that this story has become so woven into our culture, right? It's in our everyday. Now, contrary to what many may think, and I will say many Christians, and they would probably have a heart attack, but our Advent tradition is deeply rooted in ancient pagan traditions. And the natural season, which leads us into the winter solstice, and the beauty of the play between darkness and light. Like the Christian feast days in pagan culture, the festivals are known as sabbats, and they make up the wheel of the year. And Advent in Christianity is the beginning of the Christian liturgical year. So the early church adopted Advent in line with Yule, which is the first pagan Sabbat, in the hopes that the pagans would embrace Christianity. Those early missionaries, they weren't stupid. They looked around and they saw these very, very ancient traditions and rituals and co-opted them. Now, the physical piece of Advent is the wreath, right? And it's just one of many century-old pagan symbols, all centering, as you probably figured out, around evergreens, because we know that evergreens, they symbolize life and winter because they are forever green, continuously green. So from the early Romans to the Celts to the Western European peoples, boughs of evergreens were brought into the home to decorate, to kind of hold back the bleakness of what they saw as winter, along with candles. In fact, one of the stories is in the dark, unforgiving Scandinavian winters. Their winters are very, very long. The local people would light candles and place them around a wheel in an appeal to the gods for warmer days ahead. particularly around the winter solstice, as a plea for the sun to return. So for the Christians, we kind of took it, okay? And we kept it in that circle to represent the eternal nature of God, of the divine. And for us, it's supposed to point to the promise of eternal life and of the never-ending love, mercy, and faithfulness, as well as the unending cycle of seasons and the continuous nature of time in the form of hope, love, joy, and peace. And that's what these 4 candles represents. Nancy had said it earlier. Hope, love, joy, and peace. 3 purple, 1 usually pink, and then the white candle, which is lit on Christmas Day. Now, I had mentioned before a little Lent, the first 2 Sundays. The 3rd Sunday is known as Gaudete Sunday, and that usually is a pink candle. And that is joy. Because the first 2 weeks they decided, along the whole line of Christian theologians, someone turned around and said, oh, wait, we have to celebrate a baby being born. So they changed from Little Lent, decided to make it the 3rd Sunday, light the pink candle for joy, and joy for the upcoming birth of this child, for this light. I think everyone pretty much knows the Christmas story. So when you think about it, for everything there is a season, right? A time to be born, a time to die. The winter solstice, as well as Advent, is a time of transition. And like the summer solstice, when you think of them both, they are points of stability. Because we must remember that there is an equality between light and darkness. For so many of us this year, there doesn't seem to be much equality, right? And this darkness has moved beyond the season into our everyday lives, especially in our social and political landscape. For so many of us, it makes absolutely no sense. And it seems that there is no hope. It seems that there is no love. It seems that there is no joy, no peace. I was studying your 7 principles again, and I wanted to point out 2 of them that really resonated with me. The 6th principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. And the 7th principle, respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are all part. This season is an excellent opportunity to express a commitment to these principles. Our ancient ancestors lived in a time when their existence was dependent on the cooperation of each other. Their concept of community was paramount to their existence. They navigated through the darkness. They embraced the darkness because they respected it. They respected that interdependent web of life, that equality between darkness and light. This winter season, this season of Advent, I challenge you, I want you to remember your community. Embrace your community. In it, you will find the hope In it, you will find the joy, and you will find the peace. Whether you identify as a Christian or not, however you identify, the reverence and respect for human nature is at the core of who we should be. I want you to remember that all the dimensions of our being, all of it, carry the potential to do good. We carry the potential to do good. If we didn't, we would not survive. Yes, there have been wars, yes. But the basic tenet is that we as humans have great potential to do good. So this season, I want you to celebrate the gifts of being human, our capacity for bringing love, our ability to appreciate beauty, our creativity, our feelings and emotions, cherish our souls. We can use these gifts to offer hope, love, peace, joy, to work for justice, to heal injury, to create pleasure for ourselves and others. Make it a practice. Take the time to contemplate, to meditate, to ponder, to pray, whatever it may be. You can do it as a self-practice, but we all know that we are so much stronger in community. There is darkness, no doubt about it, but there are glimmers of possibility. Remember all those old stories. Remember the story of the child being born. Remember the light. Make new ones. Because it's all about weaving the stories together that will pull us together and take us through these coldest and darkest corners, all the way through to the hope of a new light, the promise of a warmth yet to come, and it will come. Amen, blessed be.
Thank you so much. Now the choir is coming up, and you may stand if you are willing and able. We are going to sing another hymn out of the Gray Hymnal. It is number 226, People Look East. Our closing words are from Bernadette R. Burns. For the joyful, may jubilant songs echo in our hearts well beyond fading memories. For the sorrowful, may gentle songs of solace bring lasting healing to our hearts and minds. For the angry, may we join our voices together in songs of protest and hope. For the mindful, may we sing the praises of earth's beauty and honor the unique songs of all being. For all of us here in our community and our world, may we sing to the morning and evening stars as they guide our journeys. And though we extinguish this candle, please take the light of love and connection with you in your heart and join us after the service for fellowship. Amen.